So I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Bruce Carter. I interviewed you outside the Democratic debate in Brooklyn a couple months ago. Now, you are one of the leaders of Black Men for Bernie Sanders. You got a pimpin' bus over here. So we got Bernie on the front of the bus, and the Star Spangles and the whole shebang. Tell me, before we get into California specifically, what has Black Men for Bernie been about?
Basically getting into the black communities, letting them know more about Bernie Sanders and why he's the best candidate, and kind of taking away the myth that he can't relate to black Americans, and also taking away that entitlement that Hillary Clinton has somehow became the heir apparent to. And making sure that moving forward, especially after the Southern primaries, that people know more about Bernie Sanders.
What I was interested in, I went to South Carolina before the primary, and I really focused mostly on the African-American community. I'm a white guy, so I try not to be presumptuous or come off like I'm kind of telling African Americans how they should vote. But I would think African Americans, unemployment is very, very high, more so than white Americans. Through youth unemployment among African Americans is through the roof. I would think $15 minimum wage, which Bernie pushes. I would think single payer health care that covers everybody. I would think these policies are kind of a no-brainer for African Americans, but the people I met, it's almost like, I don't want to label as a collective, but it's almost like just the knowing Hillary and Bill and not really knowing Bernie played an issue.
It did. I think I've often said that she's kind of like the Coke, the Coca-Cola, and Bernie's like this black label cola that you typically want to get a Coke when you go into the store. But another part of that problem is we have black pastors who have basically, tricked or even sold out their congregations because they had something on the other side, and black politicians have done that. So when you have your trusted leaders, then you follow them, and that's why you have to have regular black men like me and other individuals to go into there and say, look, hold on, that's not all true. And make sure they do understand that there's a $15 minimum wage. There are some issues that we have with everybody having a right to go to college and, not having that financial stability to go. And we talk about Pell Grants, we talk about all the options, but there are issues that black Americans face. And you go to college, you don't have access to the dad, but they want to know what the dad's income is. And so a lot of stuff takes place that so many of our black politicians, and I'm specifically talking about the Democratic Black Caucus, which should be ashamed of themselves to select Hillary Clinton over Bernie, because
name names. Who are you talking about?
Lewis, Eddie Bernice Johnson, Sheila Jackson Lee, Maxine, any of them, all of them. I mean, it's really a crying shame. So when you have leaders like that, our goal now as Black Men for Bernie is to dig deep into their policies, what they voted for. And when you talk about these poverty rates.
And who they're taking money from.
And who they're taking money for, and the condition of their constituents. So when I look at the poverty rate in Dallas, Dallas was #1 in youth poverty 4 months ago. Dallas, the city of Dallas, in the congressional district, Eddie Bernice Johnson, was #4 in poverty. So we need you out. And we're now going to put ourselves in a position to put you out, just as the Debbie lady, because I'm not a politician guy, but I'm a realist. And I know that we have some problems in black America, and it's the black men's fault. And so now I am picking up brothers across the country, LA, Seattle, everywhere, and they're saying, man, we got to get more engaged. So that's the greatest thing that has come out of, getting behind Bernie.
And last question on this. A lot of people like to act like the African-American vote is some special outside vote, very different from every other vote, but the African-American vote has been pretty similar to the white vote in terms of the generational gap. I meet so many young African-Americans, young Latinos, who are all for Bernie. It's really the older crowd, not to knock older people, but it's the older crowd, the people who kind of are more used to and, for lack of a better word, okay with the system as is, while the young people have leaned more towards Bernie.
Well, one of those is the manipulation of the media. So that means older people sit at home and they watch TV, which they expect to get an unbiased, fair, balanced, information. Young people who are now into the social media world and more technology savvy see what's really going on. So
and the Young Turks world.
And the Young Turks world. Yeah, y'all are doing a great job. So what we hope would happen is that our older generation would start to rely more on the younger generation to bring them information. And, you know, if they start doing that, I believe some of the stuff that we see taking place now in 2016 won't take place in 2018. And I think no matter what happens, I'm definitely Bernie or bust, but no matter what happens moving forward, 2018 will make sure that the House and the Senate look totally different with those people that fail to represent their constituents correctly.
Yep. Can we get inside the bus?
Sure, man. You know, you can ride.
Cool.
Go across the country with us if you choose to.
All right.
You see my trusted driver?
Nice, nice.